I can't teach you one way, I'll teach you another.
I don't get tired of that.
I'm gonna get the job done.
Literally 12:45 a.m.
We're burning daylight.
I love that burning daylight. We're burning daylight. You better start packing a handgun.
PapaBearAlaska.
You better start packing a handgun.
I love that. I love the Duke.
How
How are you guys?
you better start.
How's the sound? Is everything good?
Is everything good?
Everything
We'll
good.
see if
Hey,
we
Daddy.
get some responses. If you're having any problems with seeing us or hearing us, you'll see Lexi right there in the feed.
Oh, yeah.
Just ask Lexi, say, Lexi, help me. All right, so guys, this is Cody Lee.
Hello, I'm Cody.
Yeah, he's literally an amazing hunting, camping, outdoorsman partner.
Thank you.
Ever since he was little, he's been going on these crazy, death-defying adventures with me. And Scott is in the house. He's in there. It sounds good. Okay, awesome. You're just wondering if your mic is going to work. Well, we're going to give you a little bit of time. I think what we're going to do, Scott, before we bring you right in, we're going to do a poll and kind of show people who are joining us for the first time what we can do. So let's go ahead and set up our first poll. And while we're doing that, and I've got our assistant Clarence here, Big C. Big C's sitting right next to me, and he's doing all that stuff, so I can just look and talk. And that's cool. In fact, if we can bring the light up on the monitor itself, that would be awesome. There we go, so I can see what they're saying. Excellent.
Hello, Clarence.
Yes. So it's an old. Yeah, there we go. So real quick, if you're new to this platform, you'll look on the bottom left-hand side, not clear to the bottom, but you'll see it says Share Show. Say that 5 times fast. Share show.
Share show.
Share show. Share show. Share show.
Yeah, that's
so
tricky.
click the share show. Why is that hard to say?
No.
Lexi, call it something different.
Words.
Share show. Share show. What she done.
Share show.
You just share show. All right. So you want to share the show. Throw the in there, and it would really help people like me.
The show.
Share the show.
The Bears.
Okay. The Bears. That fits for us, right? The Bears. All right. So you want to share that, and you can, I don't know where you're going to share it, but just share it all over. Share it with your neighbor. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. Share it on, I don't know, wherever you can. Instagram, Instamom. Share it to your dog. Share it by email.
Why not?
Tattoo it on your forehead. Whatever it takes, and just get it out there. All right, real quick, let's do a poll. Let's do this. Whoa. So, yeah, you just have to cruise in. Do you enjoy exploring the wilderness? Let's see what kind of people we got following right now. While you're doing that, I'm going to eat some sausage.
Ooh, that looks really good.
Is it good? I'm eating some of this sausage that's from a sponsor that I'm going to give this out
We ate it
in the coming future. This is honey mustard.
Is it good?
Dude, yeah. Check it out. All right, so we have 71% of you.
71. Thank you.
71%.
Awesome.
Yeah. Any other voting? I only got 7 voters. We have 25 people watching right now, and only 7 of you voted. Just click the vote thing. Just click the little. You just go either yes or no. I'm starting with an easy poll. Just a yes or a no. Do you enjoy exploring the wilderness? Which means we're not saying, do you enjoy exploring the parking lot of Walmart? Do you enjoy exploring?
That is fun, though. That is fun.
Like a KOA campsite? Things. No.
Okay. No.
I'm talking not a populated area. We're talking, do you enjoy exploring like when you go into the woods and there's no other human beings? All you hear is critters and well, I said it that way. Now we got some no votes.
Oh my.
And you notice it's always darker when you go into the woods, right? As soon as you go in there, no matter how light it is, you just go in, it gets darker.
That's fun though.
And then the noises all kind of increase and your senses start picking up. For me, my smell just like kicks in. And I'm not kidding you. I've been doing this for so long that in most cases, I will smell a bear before I see him.
Yeah, Yeah, they have a very interesting smell. They smell
That
really
nose
weird.
right there, right there. All righty. All right. So enough of the poll. Looks like it got pretty close here, guys.
Pretty close.
In fact, one more could like even Steven this thing.
Cool.
Yeah, there's something about being outside, isn't there? Okay, real quick, we're gonna bring somebody in, and he's all the way from Pennsylvania. I can't tell you the name of the town because I forgot, and I don't know anything about classified. But this guy, I met him on Periscope, and I follow him on Periscope, and he's got all kinds of stuff going on about guns and firearms. He has his own shooting range in his yard.
Yeah.
He does his own reloading. And so we're going to talk a little bit about firearms for a few minutes. So hang with me because we're going to talk about other things, but I want to go ahead and get him in here. And if it doesn't work, we're going to move to the next segment. All right, here we go. Here we go.
Okay, here we are. I think so.
Wow.
Is the volume okay? Or is
Sounds
it
great.
flat?
Sounds great.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. Very well.
Yeah, hey, looking good there, buddy. Looking good.
Yeah, we're getting it going, you know. the old gray-haired long beards, right?
All right, so tell everybody real quick where you're from, who you are, and what your background is.
Okay.
Tell them what they,
Central Pennsylvania, a little town in Union County called Lewisburg. Pretty kind of rural around here. Grew up in the outdoors. About 200 yards that way is the Susquehanna River, and I credit that with helping keeping me out of trouble during my youth. My best friend and I, who is same age as me, 52 years old, and he still puts a green beret on every day when he goes to work. Okay. That's what kept us out of trouble and enabled us to have the careers we had. My career, I was a police officer with the Pennsylvania State Police. A large portion of my career was in rural areas. And then when I turned somewhere in my mid 40s, I got a bout of insanity and decided, hey, I'm going to transfer out of the beautiful mountains of central Pennsylvania and go down and work in the ghettos of West Philadelphia, some of the most dangerous ghettos in America. And hey, you know, I actually loved it. But that's me. I spent my life outdoors. My son, who's is a little over just about 12 years in the Coast Guard, he grew up on the river just like I did. And we did a lot of backpacking. We would go up to Algonquin Provincial Park up in Canada, do a lot of backpack canoe trips. With the Boy Scouts, we went out to Philmont, spent some time out there, and we would just do a lot of backpacking around here. And it's my life. It was a big part of my life. So, but
that is cool.
Awesome. There's the rest of the story. Okay. I enjoyed my job as a police officer. I had my 25 years on. I wasn't ready to retire, but I had to. And I realized not all the people that watch this scope are from Alaska, so they might not have a concern about it. But something happened to me 6.5 years ago. I could barely walk, talk, or see. I was a shell of a human being, and I was praying for death. I had got Lyme disease, and it went undiagnosed. And it was now, after 4.5 years of antibiotics, to include having a PICC line in my arm and injecting antibiotics directly into my heart, I'm okay. You know?
Wow. Hey, Scott, while you're mentioning that, I want to ask our viewers if there's any of you that have ever had Lyme disease or have a relative that had Lyme disease, or, I mean, have you guys been touched personally in your families by that? Because I'm kind of curious, because our followers watching right now, they're from all different parts of the country.
Right. Well,
so if any of you go ahead and just type it in there.
Here's something interesting. You know, I went through the CDC standard for treatment of Lyme disease, and they said I didn't have Lyme disease anymore, but I was still deathly ill. So they wanted to start checking me out for ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, and multiple sclerosis. But I went to a Lyme specialist, and it was a long journey. It was a long, hard journey. And the interesting thing is, one of the things that helped get me through my journey was firearms. That sounds a little bit odd, doesn't it? Maybe some of your viewers might think that that sounds a little bit weird, but yeah, firearms have saved my life in the traditional sense as a police officer. But they also saved my life in a non-traditional sense. And since that, I've pretty much dedicated my life to preserving the Second Amendment and doing what I can. What do I mean it saved my life in a non-traditional sense? This is what I mean. When I had Lyme disease, I never took any pain medication. It's a very painful disease, but I was on antibiotics. The one antibiotic I took only permitted me to go outside for about 20 minutes a day. And I would use that once I could stand up and had my balance a little bit and was getting my vision back. I would go out and shoot because I used to be a competitive shooter, and the disease took everything from me, everything. Yeah. But once I could get out there and start shooting, getting the gun out on target and actually aligning the sights and maybe even getting a hit now and then, I knew I was getting better. And that's one of the few things that kept me going every day.
Wow.
You know? And at that point, I didn't even want to be around my wife. I didn't want my son to see me, my granddaughter, because I was a shell of a human. I looked like I had just walked out of, Dachau in 1945. And interestingly enough, that's why I have the beard, because the antibiotics I was on just burned me up. So I grew a beard. And you know what? Somewhere in there, I had a granddaughter, and she's never seen me with a beard, so I haven't shaved. So that's why we have the beard.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, in your periscopes, you'll often be down at your range and taking shots and testing a new load that you just made, and then you'll be back in your little your I don't know what you call it, a bear den, your little man shop.
Yeah, where I'm at now.
Yeah, where you're at right now. And you're making ammo. I mean, you're dying, you got your dies and your sets, and you're actually showing people. I like how you take the time to show them how you're actually, providing your own ammunition.
Right. Like I said, my periscopes might not be exciting, but there might be that one person or two people that it might spark their interest, and they might say, hey, if that dumb, stupid, bearded old dude can do this and not kill himself, I can too. And that's why I do it.
Right.
And also with the Second Amendment, one of the things I volunteer for every summer. Now, this summer I'm not going to, because I got to give my wife a break. But for the last 5 years, I would go out to the National Rifle Association's Whittington Center out in Raton, New Mexico. And I would instruct long-range rifle marksmanship to youth and adults. And I'll tell you what, there's not much more satisfying when you're my age than taking a 14-year-old girl that, and get her behind a .338 Lapua and hitting a target at a mile.
Oh, that's awesome.
24 by 24 target, smacking them. When 2 days prior, they were afraid to pick up a .22 long rifle, bolt action rifle.
That's
to me, that's
cool.
filling in. You know what? To me, that's getting the next generation of shooters plugged in. Getting people interested and getting them aware and grounding them in the fundamentals of marksmanship.
Yeah, I like that.
Awesome. Come on.
That is awesome. And speaking, marksmanship and the range, you might deal, for those of you that are watching, you might be talking about different kind of guns, and it gets kind of confusing when guys like us start talking about calibers and how many green bullet and how much powder and what kind of primer, and it's just silly, but there is a difference versus what you're going to carry when we're out in the woods, and we just want to protect ourselves against a critter, or versus if I'm in an inner city and I want to just carry to protect myself, whether I'm male or female, and I want to protect myself against a robbery or something that could be, cause death. I want to protect myself against that, crazed, drugged person, whatever it is. And so everybody has a lot of opinions about calibers, don't they? I bet you people ask you a lot, what kind of gun should I carry? What size of gun? What, right?
Yeah, for what and for where, I guess if you really wanted to be a minimalist, you could really probably knock it down to a rifle, handgun, or shotgun, but I would never, ever want to be limited to that. I mean, you were talking a little bit earlier, and we were talking a little bit earlier about the different guns, what you carry out in the woods. It's kind of interesting you say that because the past 2 days or so, on the bench behind me here, I have bullets that I cast and made, all sorted out by weight, and because this gun that I'll show you folks kind of has an interesting history. It was the first firearm that I bought. Okay, well, that I bought with my money. I was 14 years old, and I was earning money limbing trees on a logging crew. Hey, child labor laws don't matter, right? But I earned a bunch of money, and I got my dad to buy me a Ruger Super Blackhawk because that's what a 14-year-old could afford back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And had a 7.5-inch barrel and like the squared off trigger guard that even when I was 14 would wrap me in the knuckle when I shot it. And I thought, I have a buddy that's a gunsmith. And I asked him what he could do for me because I'd really like to get this pistol back out shooting again. And so I gave him my Super Blackhawk and said, fix this, dude. Make it work for me. And because one of my friends, a guy that I worked with a good portion of my career, after he retired, he moved down to Texas and he's working with the oil companies. And he has some property there and he has a little bit of a hog problem. So I had my friend build me the hog hammer. Okay. And that is this right here. It's a Ruger Super Blackhawk. Okay. It has a 6-inch Chalene barrel and it's a 44 Magnum, just so you folks know. Yes, we are unloaded. I checked it multiple times before this, but kind of cool little pistol here.
They are. Beautiful. They are. Yeah.
This will bring home the bacon. Notice it does not have that squared off trigger guard anymore. Nice round one. So when I am out there on target, my grip isn't getting dug in by a guard.
Yeah, and the aftermarkets you can get to fit your hand. And so no matter what size man or woman you are, I'm telling you, there's a firearm that would fit you. And so I get asked that question like relentlessly. What kind of gun? Hey, Papa Bear, what kind of gun should I get? And then I have to answer, well, what do you want to use it for? Right. Well, I want to protect myself against, an attack. And I live in town but I want to go do some target shooting. I go, well, 22 is great. A 22 is crazy deadly. Oh, yeah. If when you were in the field and on the job and someone's pointing a 22 at you, you took it just as serious as anything else, didn't you?
It'll kill you just as dead.
Oh yeah. And it's lightweight and the ammo, I know they've played around with the ammo for a while, but it's still cheaper than, let's say, a lot of your other stuff, even 9mm and 357, whatnot. But what's really nice is low to no recoil. Yeah. So if you don't want a gun hitting you in the forehead every time you pull the trigger. And
one of the things that I get asked the same thing multiple times, probably a couple times a week when I'm out in public, or else I'm around people, and everybody always wants to get, when we're talking about personal protection, like for carrying around in town, everybody always wants to get their wife that small 380 or that small snub-nosed revolver. Yeah, they're kind of cool, but when you're not a new shooter, I think that's one of the worst things that you can get somebody, because you have to learn the fundamentals of shooting. I tell people, get a full-size pistol to learn.
Yeah.
And about the smallest I'll recommend is something like a Glock 19. Something nice, small like this. It's small enough to conceal, but big enough to fight with. Myself, my daily carries a CZ75 or a Glock 17.
Okay.
And it just because I know I can shoot them better. And
so for those of you that are watching right now, I don't know where you stand gun. Some of you, I know you told me on Periscope that you, some of you in here I recognize, and you own your own firearm. But for those watching, we're talking about two different things, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to let's talk about self-defense against people. We're going to transition out of that only because that's a whole nother subject, and it needs a full hour. Yeah. You just can't touch it. And so I carry a 41 Magnum titanium every day, and it weighs 20 ounces.
Yep.
and it weighs about twice as much when you load it, you know. And
Mhm.
so, and I have hollow points in it, and that's my people stopper, and it's very intimidating, and it is like a 2¼ inch barrel, and it is not fun to shoot at the range.
No.
It'll rip your knuckled apart. It is
Yeah.
so lightweight. But I'll tell you what, you pull the trigger, everybody in the neighborhood knows you fired a gun. It's an intimidator. You probably will never have to pull the trigger, but that's what I carry just inside my jacket and where I go. In the woods, though, I don't even take that thing. It doesn't serve me a purpose in the woods. I need something that I can actually hit at a distance because it's running at me, and I don't want it 7 feet away. I want to hit it when it's 35 yards away and it's coming at me, and that's usually a bear. And
Yeah.
so I have that gun with me right here. And this is a custom holster that a guy carved for me out of leather with a, look at the bear on it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
There, I got my custom pot, and you can see it's pretty worn.
Yep.
And I'm going to get a leather belt for it right now. I've got, you know, one of your Uncle Mike's, you know, straps on there right now. And I carry it because it's such a long gun. It's a 6.5-inch barrel.
Yeah.
I carry it on my left side because without a boot strap or, you know, a leg strap like the old style and
Right.
wearing a drop down holster, I can't bring my arm up high enough and quick enough, but I can make a left-handed grab really fast.
Right. You're
So-
drawing basically into your armpit at that point
Yes.
with that
Yeah,
long
yeah.
pistol. Yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm going to actually unload it here because I keep it loaded, and I'm going to show you everybody. Okay. So these are 320 grains, and this is not a light gun. This is heavy. Now, it'd be way too heavy to carry concealed, but when I'm out in the woods, it's just strapped to the outside of my gear, and it's just part of what I am, you know. And so let me show you what this thing is. It's a 320 grain solid lead. These are actually made here in Alaska, and Soldotna guy presses these, and they're impressive. And the first time I saw him, he had one of these slugs. He shot it through 16 inches of compressed wet newspaper, and you could reload it. The slug didn't move at all. And I said, that's what you need. So when you're shooting a predator, you don't want a mushroom. You want something that'll be a bone breaker. You want to bust the bones. And so this is actually, if you felt this, I wish you all could feel it. It's actually a heavy round.
A good solid heavy,
Real heavy.
Yeah. Well, actually, this bullet that I have loaded up for hunting right now, this is a 310 grainer. Okay, now this is just the bullet before it's loaded. So maybe
Right.
some of the viewers aren't familiar with what a bullet actually looks like. This is it. Now these are bullets that I made. Okay, and
That's awesome.
cast them and powder coat them.
Now I'm going to freak everybody out because people think I'm pointing a gun at them, but I'm going to point this empty gun at the camera so you get an idea of what it looks like down the barrel, and you see the riflings in there. You see the light in there, the riflings. You can actually see like a rifle there. You see that twisted. That's what puts the spin on your bullet. That's where they came up with the term rifle, is because of riflings. And your first pistols didn't have that, but all of your modern guns will have some sort of rifling in it. The longer the barrel, the more twist on that, and you're going to have a little flatter shooting round. It's going to have a little more spin to it, more accuracy with distance. But this, again, is a 44 Magnum, model 629. It's an old frame that's been around for a long time, and just gun. I did wear out the sights, though, Scott. I wore them out.
Good.
Yes.
Good. That means you're carrying it.
Literally wore them out from carrying it. And so I had these put on.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the clear, I forget what they call it.
The
It's
high vis sights.
Yeah. And then it's so much easier now for me to be able to see what I'm doing. And on this end of it, there's a little bit of light on it. So in a dark situation, I can actually line those up. In most cases, you don't have time to line up when something's coming at you pretty fast. A lot of times you don't even have time to do line of sight. You're doing a lot of hip shooting, and you have to get good at it.
Well, it's interesting you said it. You know, that frame has been around for a long time, and it has been. And this, you happen to mention that this one right here, this model 29 is
Right.
from 1959. This was my grandfather's. So, he was into 44 Magnums before Dirty Harry was around, before.
That looks like the Dirty Harry gun with a shorter barrel, doesn't it?
No, this is the 6.5-inch barrel, the same one. And once again, it's unloaded. Okay.
Yep,
We can see the cylinder's empty, but yeah. And what a beautiful gun. Shoots great.
Yeah.
I only shoot the lighter bullets out of this because I just want to be easy on the frame. This is something I want to pass down to my granddaughter.
Yeah.
And, but yeah,
that is so cool. So you
The
guys
original.
tell me if this is interesting. We're not going to talk. I told people in our Periscope, we're not going to talk about guns the whole time, but you can't talk about going into the woods and not talk about guns. Now, Cody, do you have your 357?
I do have my 357.
So he took his first bear a couple years ago, this bear that was getting quite aggressive and really, you're going to be
686
quite familiar with that. The 686, this was my service revolver.
Yeah.
So I did a short stint of law enforcement work, but this was my carry gun, the stainless steel 686. And I literally wore out the trigger mechanism and I gave it to him. And then we had some new parts put in it.
Yeah.
But this thing is fired. Has to be 1 million rounds. You know what I mean? It has to be. I'm not kidding you. It has just been around for so long.
Yeah.
And
awesome gun. I love
4.25 inch barrel. I believe it's a 4.25. I think that's what it was. Aftermarket grip.
Yeah.
So the original would be a wood grip on it. And but it was about 35 yards and one shot, one kill. He took a nice bear. In fact, why don't you bring your bear in here?
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
That's cool.
Yeah, he had the hide tan so that he could wear it like a bathrobe.
Oh, good. I have the exact same revolver, and I don't know the round count in it, but let me tell you this. I have so many rounds through my 686. I had to send it back to the factory. There's a little sleeve that the firing pin goes through. They had to replace that sleeve because it got damaged from all the rounds shooting. The cartridge is sitting back.
Eventually wear out the parts.
Yeah.
All right. So we got some comments. Ashley from Tennessee. She's a amazing gal that's been following us for a long time. She carries a 380.
Yeah.
Side. And depending on, Walther. In fact, Smith & Wesson bought out Walther, but Walther makes a 380 that's, I don't know if you could beat it. I mean, that's just a nice little cut down 9mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing I learned about Walthers over the years. Either you have one that works and shoots really good, or one that's a complete, crazy. That you have. Great.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. There's nothing wrong with the 357 Magnum, and generally that's what I carry.
Oh yeah,
out in the woods.
I love the feel of it in the weight of the 357.
Yeah, and this, considering this was wasn't this in August? Like
this
late
was in
July, August.
They're usually super patchy.
It actually is. For an August bear, amazing. For probably because we're so far north, our camp is right up by the Arctic Circle. You got to put it around you, man.
Now, how much did that thing dress out at, or how much? Probably
around 300 pounds.
Okay, so that was a nice size one.
That's kind of common. A smaller bear would be, a 1 to 2 year old would be in the 200, and then they start getting bigger. Right. He was probably a 3 to 4 year old, so he was a full adult.
Right.
And then they go up from there, but we don't see them in that area. We don't see them that big. Like down in southeast Alaska, the black bear get huge because they're just eating salmon all day long. These bears are.
We did see like a humongous black bear though this year. It was humongous.
Oh, it was. Yeah, we saw some big ones. The big ones come out late in the season, right about when we're tired and want to go home. And then usually we just I don't have time to mess with you. We try to scare them off and
they just keep coming.
Just stay out of their way,
Yeah. Just a question now. What kind of bullet did you use for bear with the 357 Magnum?
I used
it's a 200 grain bear load.
200 grain solid.
Yeah. It's a 357 Magnum, a little extra powder, 200 grain.
Yeah.
Same company makes my 320s.
Yep. Just made for penetration. That's great.
Yeah. And you want to hit them. You want to shoot the shoulder when you're on. You don't want to go behind the shoulder with a bear. Like you don't want to lung him. Right. He can go for hours. You want to hit him in the shoulder and take out his front loader. You want to take out his front end. That's his power. Bear's like a boxer. You want to take out his arms. You take out his front end.
If I remember correctly, their heart's pretty low in their chest, isn't it?
Yeah. But I mean, I've blown their heart up and they still do damage.
Yeah.
So they are just a tough critter.
Oh yeah.
They're just really tough.
When I was still in the job, now this has to do with bears, and this is kind of interesting. I was involved with an organization called Camp Cadet, where we'd bring kids in and do police stuff, and we'd always bring a game warden in. And Pennsylvania was pretty fortunate. We had a game warden. His name was Gary Alt. He is a renowned bear studier. He's actually written papers and stuff on bear. And I guess that the United States Army has been looking at bear because they have the ability to heal themselves very rapidly from wounds.
That's amazing.
And I think that's fascinating. To me, bear are great.
Many, many years ago out at camp, I remember it was 4 a.m. And 24-hour sunlight. So a lot of times we go to bed like at 2 or something and get into our tents. It was 4 a.m. and I thought I heard gunshot going off. It was so loud. It sounded like that cracking of a 22. Yeah. And then I slit there in my tent and I go, that's not a gun. Nobody would be, I'm counting people in my mind. None of my staff would be shooting at 4 a.m. And I figured out it was boards breaking. The boards cracking next to the river, and that sound was echoing it, up the Yukon River, and it was just echoing. Yeah. And then it clicked. We had just loaded up the smokehouse with salmon. I went running out there. I still had my thermal underwear on. I don't know why, because it was kind of chilly at night, but it was getting hot in the day. And I had this gun with me. And sure enough, this bear had just ripped the whole wall apart. He was a big black bear. Yeah. And I hit him right in the shoulder, about 40 yards. And he turned and ran straight at me after I hit him. And I had to hit him again just to turn him around. Yeah. And he didn't go to 30 yards, and he expired pretty quickly. But it took 4 of us to drag him out of the woods. He was so heavy. And his face, he had gotten in a fight with a grizzly. His face was completely scarred. I mean, below the leather, all the way across his eyes and his head. He was tore up. Yeah. And yet he had healed up. You could tell that he had been completely opened up on his face, got in a something raspy with a big grizz, and he survived to talk about it. Tough old bear.
They are tough. I bet you when that dude turned around and started coming at you, that blows the old cholesterol out of the veins, doesn't it?
Well, I was half asleep. When he's running at me, I woke up like...
Yeah, instantly.
Like, there goes caffeine right there. Like, oh boy. And I made sure, I took my time and I made sure I didn't hip shoot it. He's coming at me. I don't have another chance.
Right,
and
right.
So I hit him so hard it flipped him over. And he ran. And but I was so upset. There was salmon all over the place. He got into our salmon and it just tore the place up. The crazy thing is we hadn't put a door on it. He could have just walked in the door. Yeah. He got all the fish he wanted, but instead he tore the whole wall apart.
Yeah, we have on occasion we have some bear out back here, and back when we still had a wood deck on our house, every now and then, just like you said, you'd hear this cracking noise, and it was a bear walking across the deck, to get bird seed or something like that, or just smelling what we had, and big old dudes. But never had quite an experience like that with a bear. That's great. That's great. And congratulations to your son for getting a bear.
And we've on average, I think we added up recently, but about 7 bears we take out of our camp a summer.
Oh, good.
And it seems like we're not even putting a dent on it. They just keep coming. Yeah. It's just crazy. There are just so many of those critters. Yeah. So speaking about this, talking to our audience and all you viewers that are being patient and watching all this, because we're so remote, I prefer to take a larger caliber gun. Now, there's guys I know who they insist that the 44 Magnum's too small for bear protection. They prefer a 454 Cassell or a 460 or a 500 Smith & Wesson. Here's what I found, though. A lot of the guys buy a big gun and can't hit nothing with it.
Right.
So talking to an old Native man many years ago, he was talking about his grandpa. And the only gun that his grandpa had was an old single shot rifle 22 Magnum.
If I would have had a guess, I would have said a 22 long rifle. And he did
and that was a big deal. He had a Magnum, you know, and he would creep up on a grizzly while I was sleeping, get up close enough and pull the trigger and shoot it in the eye, because if you could get a shot in the eye, there's a cavity about this big, and then that bullet will bounce around in the skull, and the bear would never wake up. He just lay there dead. And that's how they dealt with predators. So it's not so much size of gun, it's about accuracy.
Yes, shot placement is everything. And
the gun that you're the best shot with is the best gun to have.
Yes. And you know, you said about the guys with like the 454s or something like that. Let's go back to your situation with the bear, you know, going through the smokehouse. You know, if you were shooting a 454, your follow-up shot probably wouldn't have been as quick, you know, because those 454s, it takes a lot to recover from them. And, I don't know about you, but I found that some of these heavy bullets, like these 310s that I shoot, I would almost rather shoot a 310 grain bullet than like a 210 grain bullet, because the recoil's different. It's more of a push than that sharp crack.
I agree. I almost, unless I'm going to plink and mess around, or if I have to sight a gun in, you know, I got new sights, then I don't want to waste my expensive ammo. But typically when I shoot, I'm shooting the one that I'm familiar with, and the ballistics are going to change on you. And it's going to look different on paper too. So if you're, for those of you that are going out and you're going to camp and you legally, see, there's some parks like in California and other states that some of our viewers might be, you know, from, that where it's just completely illegal to carry a firearm. But if you're in a place where it's legal and you're going to go in the woods where you don't have somebody protecting you, take the thing that you're the most comfortable with, that you can pack the easy and you're the most accurate with, and you don't have to do 7 steps to pull it out and remember, is there one in the pipe, and did I cock it, and is the double safety on, and do I have because in an emergency, it's all memory, it's all muscle memory. And so what I like about a revolver is, I've noticed in an emergency, I forgot some of my fundamentals. I haven't been to a class in a while, but I went old school and I pulled the hammer back. I do that. And I went single action. And guess what? I was still doing it quickly.
Yeah. And, you know, the extra fraction of a second that you took to do that. That might have made the difference between a good solid hit and as opposed to a hit. You know, a loud noise in the general direction of danger isn't going to generally do you any good when they're charging at you like that bear was. So,
I've seen people with nice autos, new guns, and they practice, maybe it's a 1911 or whatever, and they go up and they go to fire, and then they go, oh,
safety. Yeah, or one in those.
Cycle around, keep one in the pipe. Oh, yeah. Well, that can be death to you, you know. So I come up, and I can either double action and just pull that trigger real fast, or I can cock this thing back and just go single action. And that's where I'm going to get my accuracy. I'm always going to do that if I have time to set a shot up.
Just a quick tip. I just saw you do something there. When I was a cop, I started off in the old revolver days. So if you ever think about this next time you're out the range. Once again, a 686 here. We're empty. Okay. It's going to be pointed towards the camera, but here's something to think about. You know, you reach up with this thumb. Okay. Remember, thumb is what really grabs. Okay. That's what gets your grip. One of the easiest. All right, let me get on camera here. If you think about cocking a revolver, especially under stress, just cock it over and do it with your off thumb. Okay. Because that way you're right in there and you're not loosening up the grip, because
that's true. I've actually done that. Now that I think of it, I've actually done that.
Come over with your left, I'm sorry, I just see things like that, and help somebody out, get them to think, you know.
And that's why I encourage people, take a class, because the instructor is going to notice things that are going to help you. And I was just saying on my Periscope, I probably need to go. It's been a while. I probably need a refresher so I can have some guy critique me.
See, I'm an instructor too, and the firearms instructor. One of the things now, this has to do with the outdoors also, especially when you're hunting for dangerous game like bear. You know, something that, hey, guess what? You're not on top of the food chain anymore. You're, you know, you're one rung down on the food chain when you're going after bear or mountain lion. You might have to make those shots under stress. And I tell my buddies that hunt or, you know, carry for self-defense, and this might sound, you know, there's a lot of people who will say something different, but you know what? Number one, learn to shoot, learn the fundamentals. Don't be afraid to go to a shooting competition because you're under stress. And you know what? There's nothing that emphasizes more when you're shooting in a shooting competition. You're saying, "Oh, well, I'm not a good enough shot to go to a shooting competition." You know what? We're all new once, and we're all when we continue. And I found that generally, and I'm sure that you found this too, people that shoot are generally some of the best people on earth. Yeah, there's going to be some outlying weirdos, but you know what? The first competition you go to, say, "Look, hey, I'm a new guy. Can you, you know?" People will bend over backwards to help you. And you know what? Once you can shoot in competition, fair enough. You know what? That's gonna make you much better out in the field. Because, you know, the typical buck fever scenario where people just throw the gun up and they're probably looking at the deer or the bear. But we all know, what should you be looking at? That front sight. There's only one, when you're making that shot, there's only one thing that's important, that front sight.
That's right. That's right.
Complete focus, that bear, deer, beaver, whatever you're gonna put one.
I'll tell you what, on Periscope, it's been a while, but once in a while I get some real anti firearm people that come on my scope. You know, we call them trolls, and sometimes they're just angry people. And sometimes they're so far, you know, we're animal lovers for a whole lot of reasons.
Absolutely.
And when we hunt for food, we go for the clean kill because I don't want to see anything suffer, but we're after the meat. But then there's people who say there's never, ever a situation where you need to shoot an animal, as if I'm supposed to give up my family's life and let the bear just do what it wants. And so in those situations, you just have to be thinking, what am I going to carry? What kind of thing am I going to carry in the woods? And so if you already have a firearm and you're good at shooting at it, then maybe that's the thing that you carry. Absolutely. If you're comfortable with it, the one that feels good in your hand. If it doesn't feel good in your hand, try something different. Find a friend, find somebody like Scott here who lives in your neighborhood and say, can I come over and shoot a variety of guns? And I'll promise you, I don't know any gun enthusiast that doesn't like to just share. When we go shooting, I grab all my firearms and we set up a big old white folding table, right? And we teach them some safety, and we let people one by one gun at a time, and we let them try. Wow, I kind of like it. And when we do that, you know what most people say they like the most? His gun, his 357 Magnum. That 686, old and true. It feels good in a woman's hand. It feels good in a man's hand. It's sort of like the neutral gun that it just feels good. And when you shoot it, it's got recoil, but it's not scary. Right. And it's accurate. It hits the target. Sure. And it's consistent. And so people seem to, really love that.
And the great thing is you can start them out with some 38s, some real light 38s to work on the fundamentals of accuracy and getting them hitting things. Because the 5.7. Yeah.
I've been talking to you about it. I had this gun for over a year before I ever fired it. And I looked at it, and like a lot of people, I thought it was kind of a gimmick. Never heard of it. I'm like, a NATO round, whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm not really a NATO round fan. And it's a little bullet. And so I finally went out and shot it before I ever did any research. All I didn't read anything, didn't watch a video. I went out, fired the gun, and was so impressed, I started researching it and learning about it. Yeah. And so I'm impressed. And so this is something that it's a little higher, little more expensive. I got to show it in the box because they just look cool when they come in the box.
Yeah, they do a nice packaging job there. Yeah.
And all of these pistols come with 3 magazines that hold 20 rounds each. And these magazines, I don't think I brought any ammo, Cody. I unloaded everything. 20 round magazines and 3 of them. Oh, here we go. We got a loaded one right here.
Yeah.
So I'll hold that up and let you guys see that.
There you go.
They almost look like a miniature 223. Yeah.
And that's exactly what they look like.
Yeah.
It's quite a bit shorter than a 223. It's bottlenecked, and it'll shoot in the P90 or the PS90.
Right.
Or is it P90S? I forget. Is it PS90?
Yeah.
Either or. PS90 I believe is what it is.
Which is a semi-automatic or a fully automatic. It's the one that the Secret Service protects our president with, is with this round.
Right.
So absolutely fun to shoot. Absolutely. And I'll just show you right now that everybody, that is an empty handle right there, empty grip. So there's nothing in it, but the gun is super lightweight. And at first I thought, well, that's going to be a recoil problem. My wife, says this is the most enjoyable gun she's ever shot in her life.
Yeah.
And she has a beautiful Beretta 9mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The PX4, brand new.
Yeah.
She prefers this. She would rather shoot this one all day long.
Yeah, that's something
More accurate, more powerful, and literally the recoil is this.
Right. Right. Probably
It's not this.
Probably not much more than a 22 Magnum. I'm guessing.
Yet the ballistics are strong enough. They won't let me shoot it in the indoor range here in our only indoor range in Fairbanks.
Yeah, those little bullets are pretty famous for penetration, and they're very hard on steel. If anybody, I don't know if any of your folks have ever seen any of my periscopes, but I have steel targets out there, and that's pretty much mostly what I shoot. And the caliber that's the hardest on them, I've shot them with 308s, 1 ounce, 12 gauge slugs, 357 Magnums, 44s, you name it, I put it on them. The cartridge that is the hardest on steel is the 223, 55 grain full metal jacket. The 77s aren't as hard on the steel as the 223s because there's so much energy in such a small contained little bit.
Yeah, that's the key. That's the key. So again, don't let your buddy say, "Oh, so you want to buy a gun? You got to get this Magnum or this big." Go and test something, and carry the pistol for the appropriate environment, but carry something that fits you, that fits your hand, that fits in your bag, your purse, your jacket. I literally have holsters sewn on the inside of my Carhartt jackets.
You do that.
You're not the only one. I have Carhartt vests that I have holsters sewn in. Yeah. But that's what it boils. You know what? For your viewers out there, I can't see any of the written comments since I'm at this point. But for any of your viewers out there, find something that you're gonna like. Get a hold of a firearms enthusiast. Maybe you can shoot something, and get something that you're gonna have confidence in. Because I try to. I'm not a sports guy, but a lot of people are into sports, and I try to equate it to sports. If you played sports, which I did when I was younger, the more confidence you have in something, the better you're gonna do. This is no different. The more confidence you have in a particular firearm, you're going to do better. And, it's just as simple as that. And the only thing you can overcome that is just more shooting, and more shooting.
That is so cool. So we're going to transition now and talk about antlers and horns. Okay. I want to tell you, I could do like a 2-hour show with just you because you have so much gun knowledge. And obviously your upbringing didn't hurt you in that, and neither did your career, because you have to know calibers, not just of you, but of the bad guy that's out there and what they're carrying. So I would love to we might just have to do that in the future and just do a conversation. This is something we can't do on some of our other platforms, is be here at the same time and discuss this. I really like it. And your knowledge is awesome. Yeah. And I really appreciate it. And before you go, I'm going to ask 2 things. One is if you can tell people how they can follow you and how they can find you on whatever platform you want to promote. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then secondly, if there's like one more firearm you just want to show off before you go, this is your big chance.
Okay. Yeah. You know what? If anybody would want to check any of that stuff out, just the same as it is here, SEH45 on Periscope, because I didn't really know about this platform before. And I kind of like the interactive part of it. I like that. Now, the last one I'll get out here, and I'm sorry because, like you, I could sit here and talk till 2:00 in the morning about this until I ran out of breath. And it's like, okay, let's take a nap and get up and do it again. Okay.
Great.
One of the ones that I carry, and I started doing something because I noticed I'm getting older and my eyes aren't as good as they used to be. Maybe some of the viewers are getting older too. And when I was going out there, that front sight would start to get blurry, or it would take longer for me to get focus on that front sight to shoot accurately. Well, that's not good. I mean, my eyes are still decent, and I don't need corrected vision other than when I'm reading. But I started doing something. This is a Glock 17 that I have a Trigicon RMR mounted on. Here, what I can do is just take the slide off. So some of your viewers, this might be an option for them. It's like, oh, my eyes aren't good, and it's hard for me to see that front sight, because I've faced reality that this is something I'm probably going to have to deal with. Yeah. And this is a red dot sight. It's a Trigicon RMR. Okay. Okay, and let me see if I can get this on here. Let me see. Let me see.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm still trying to screw around.
The other way. You're almost there.
Okay.
Red dot. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, head that way. There you go. You're almost there. Keep going that direction. There it is. There it is. You're on it now.
Okay. I don't know if you guys can see that. Yeah, see the dot in there?
There's a little dot in there. So all you have to do is line the dot up with the tip.
Yeah. Actually, no. All you have to do is put the dot on the target and nice steady pull to the rear, and you'll do it. Actually, I could.
Wow.
Yeah, and that is what's nice about that, because you got that dot in there.
I like that.
But it takes training, because when you use a red dot sight, you're not looking at the dot, you're looking at your target, which is great for self-defense, because what are you doing in self-defense? You're looking at the threat, and you bring the gun up, and you have like but yeah,
wow.
I could spend an hour just talking about this and the uses of it, but it works in the game field too.
I like it.
Really, it makes moving targets a lot easier to hit too.
Wow. So, I like that.
Yeah.
Maybe you can talk again on your Periscope, so if people start following. So go ahead and follow Scott on Periscope. And again, there's his name right at the top. It's SEH45.
Yeah.
Your initials. 45.
And one thing to keep in mind, I talked to you about this off camera prior. My social media is up and down. Sometimes I'll be on 2 days in a row, and then I'll go 2 weeks. I think I do have some old ones up there. But go ahead, follow. It doesn't hurt.
I want to say thank you so much, man. This has been awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. This has been cool. What we're going to do is do let's go to the poll about the horns, actually. Let's do that one next.
Well, I'm going to head out. Just want to say goodnight to you folks. Hey. Sorry about probably boring a lot of people.
Oh, no, man. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Thanks. Stick around and watch. You might win something, okay? Stick around if you've got the time.
Okay, guys. Take care.
All right.
Getting late here, and I'm old.
That's right. It is getting later over there.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, take care.
All right, guys. Wasn't that great having Scott talk about guns and whatnot? And I got to show off my, people often ask, and this is my old revolver that Cody now owns, and he used this to take his bear. A little safety tip when you're handing a revolver to somebody, this is actually how you want to do it, it's called the wheel open. You want the wheel open like this and put your fingers through it so it can't be fired. And you can literally hand somebody that way, and they actually will grab it that way. They'll put their fingers through it, and you know that it's safe to carry in that fashion, versus closing it and then a person has to ask you whether it's loaded or not. But this is a great little stainless steel. I would recommend that you get stainless steel. A blued gun is really high maintenance. All right, let's do a quick poll. But let's not start it until we bring one. What do you say we bring? All right, I'm telling him the rules of engagement here. Okay. All right, so he's going to show you. He's going to show you. Yeah, actually, bring one of the others. One of the first ones. Yeah, bring one of those. All right, so you're going to clean it off. Is it okay? All right, so check this out. Ready, go. What animal is this from?
Oops, sorry. Don't want to stab you. Okay, let me stab you.
You
So
just
big.
pulled that out of the backyard, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
what
just had
animal
snow
is
and
this
ice
from? That's a nice shed. We call it a shed when an animal drops his horns and you're out in the woods and you pick them up, and they grow a new set every year. So we've got 60% saying it's a moose. We got 40 saying it's a caribou. There you go. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, do another close-up.
Okay.
Would you look at that? You can see a little bit of snow on it. Wow. Wow, that's pretty cool. All right, you can go ahead and put it away. And let's see what we got. Any last minute? We got 7 of you that voted. Anybody else want to do the poll here and see what you think it is? Oh, we just had another vote come in, and moose dropped to 50%. Caribou jumped to 33, now 55. We have another one. Now we're back to 60%. All right, let's end it. Moose is correct. That is a moose, antler, and there's 2 of them. We actually have them both.
Yes.
And we actually took this off of an animal that was left in a slough, kind of a pond, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He was underwater and had been there probably for a year or more. And we harvested the antlers and brought them in. So they've been in the backyard. So Cody went and dug them out of the snow just for you guys. Now, you've seen us eating. I normally don't eat stuff while I'm broadcasting. It's considered rude. But we have a sponsor. But let me just tell you, heads up, I'm not giving this away today, but I am going to give it away in an upcoming Gravy episode. And this is from Vermont Meats. And they make, like, this is Chipotle sausage.
Chipotle.
Look at this right here. So we've been eating Chipotle.
Been trying it out.
And they also have original cracked pepper.
Have we tried that one yet? No, that we have.
Yeah.
All right. I might have to wash my hands.
The cracked pepper, it's got a nice bite to it, I'm telling you. Did you try the Chipotle?
I don't remember.
That's pretty good stuff here. All right. So Gravy's so cool. They got sponsors and they'll send you product. And I don't want to like give it away if I say like I've never tried it. Well, they send me like a dozen flavors.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to take me a while to try them all.
Very nice.
And then they're going to send you like, I'm not going to send you like a bite out of it. And they're going to send you brand new product. It's going to be cool. Hey, thanks for coming in. This is so good.
There's like only wrappers in the box. Really? Okay.
No, I'm good there.
Okay.
I got to get this down so I can talk. All right. Good stuff.
I like it.
You know what? Let's do a giveaway.
All right.
How we doing on time? Oh, man.
Ooh.
I think, I said we were going to do a couple giveaways, so I can't lie.
Yeah.
The first giveaway, I'm going to give away the platform series. I'm going to give away my books. So if you're interested, and excuse me, if you're interested in building your social media, typo.
Yep.
Your platforms, whether it's here, whether it's Periscope or Instagram or wherever it is, especially your live stream platforms. I've written 3 books and it's called the Platform Building Series. And these 3 books, you can get them on Kindle. You can get them on iBooks. You can also get them at PapaBearAlaska.com. But the winner is going to get all 3 books. I'm going to give all 3. I'm going to send them to you. All you have to do is give me your email.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you have to do is just send me your email. And I'll make sure you get that.
Definitely.
My email is PapaBearAlaska. at gmail.com. PapaBearAlaska at gmail.com. So when you win, all you got to do is take PapaBearAlaska at gmail.com and say, hey, send me an email saying I want my books. And I'm going to send you those, and it's going to be easy to download from email. You're going to love these books. So the first one is I'm So Branded That It Left a Mark.
Mm-hmm.
It's what is branding in social media? Why do you need it? And how do you do it? Mm-hmm. The second book is Max Your Brand, how to really take it to the next level and be professional in your presentations. And the third one is Public Speaking 101, because apparently the greatest fear to mankind is public speaking. That's what I've read.
I'm still working on
This
it.
book's going to help you a lot. Right there, PapaBearAlaska at gmail.com. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's you.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Guys, if you enjoyed Scott, be sure and follow him on Periscope.
Definitely. Yeah, he's amazing.
Just a great guy. He's
Awesome.
the real deal. And if you have gun questions, man, go there.
He's
The
your
guy's
man.
very knowledgeable about that, and I think that's cool. All right, so 10 seconds here. Only 2 people have entered. Real quick, click on it. It's a chance to win these books. Only 2 people. You got 3 seconds. 2, 1. Oh, Ashley, it's a 50-50 chance between you and Debbie. 2, 1. Are you feeling lucky? You know we've got to change that. Yeah, Alexa, you got to change that too. Feel lucky, punk.
Can you change that? Can you really change
It's a 50-50. This is the least amount of people I think we've ever had in the wheel. But you know what? You get a great chance.
There you go.
And what?
Ashley.
Oh my goodness. Ashley, are you going to come on and say hello? Come on.
Hey.
There you are, all the way from Tennessee.
How you doing?
Good. How are y'all?
Is this your second time appearing on Gravy?
It is.
And did you win something last time?
I won the Bear Bowl last time.
Did you win the Bear Bowl and you have it? They sent it to you?
Yes.
My goodness. It's a good thing we didn't give away because, see, we're going to be giving one of these away next on this show. So you got one of these.
So
How do you like it?
It's so
I like their stickers. That's my kind of.
I didn't get a sticker.
They sent me a sticker. I got a sticker. Well, hey, are you enjoying this platform, Gravy.Live?
I'm loving it.
And we're not dealing with a lot of craziness, right?
Yeah,
we're not dealing with a bunch of trolls. I'm not getting hit by any hoochie mamas. We're not getting any of that. Is that still a thing, hoochie mama? I just said that. I don't know why. I don't even know what that is, but it's probably something your mama doesn't want you talking to is a hoochie mama.
It's true.
Just put the word out there, y'all, okay?
No trolls here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Debbie, we got to get you winning the next time. Ashley got this one. Wow, she's just making a killing on this. Well, I'm going to send you those books. And if you already have them, I'll send you something different. All right. But you already have my email and I have yours. So I think we can make this happen. Okay.
Good.
Well, good. I'm glad you've been. Did you learn anything about guns listening to Scott and the conversation? And
I did. Of course, I don't have a revolver, but
yeah,
that method that he was talking about, pulling the hammer back with the opposite thumb, that's really great information. I would have never thought to do that.
that's cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. Does it make you kind of want to go out and start practice shooting?
It does. If it wasn't dark, I'd go out and set up.
Go light up the sky and get all the dogs barking in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's great.
Makes me want to go.
Well, thanks so much for coming on. We're going to do a couple more things and we're going to do another spin the wheel because I'm giving one of these away tonight. Okay. In this one. And we're going to go a few more minutes anyway. I said I was going to do an hour show. We've already been an hour and 6 minutes, but it's hard to quit because we've had really great guests. Like last week, that was crazy. That could have gone 3 hours.
Yeah.
Every one of our guests, they're all professional travelers, world travelers.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was just, we could have just kept going,
Yeah,
And so we've just had amazing people.
you can never set a time limit with Papa Bear.
It's tough. I only set when we start 4:00 our time. And for you, it's like, what is it, 8 o'clock now?
It is.
9?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, 8 o'clock.
Wow.
Okay. All right. Well, bless you, girl. I'm glad you won. We'll get those books out to you, and then I'm sure you're going to enjoy them. All right.
You love y'all.
Okay. We love you too. All right. Thank you.
Have a great
Bye.
night.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. I think we need to do a poll real quick, and then we'll do another spin the wheel. Now,
Coffee's
while we're setting this up, let's do the without electronics would be fun. Or do you want to do the one about temperature?
Electronics.
Sure.
Whichever one you want. We're gonna.
This
These
is
are
me
just
and
for
me.
fun because I want to see kind of the heartbeat of our viewers, and it helps me get a perspective of kind of where you're at. And this particular subject being outdoorsman life, we don't always live the outdoorsman life, do we? Like right now, we're not.
No.
We're in the living room,
No.
and
Yeah.
but
We're in a
much of the
lockdown.
year we do
They count.
live the outdoorsman life. And so, guys, in the coming weeks, I don't know if it's going to be next week or if it's going to be the show after that. I'm literally going to be giving away. Oh, wow. You know what next week is?
What's next week?
Guys, this is going to blow you away. Next week, I've got Jameson K-Peck is going to be my co-host.
It's gonna be awesome.
He's a professional dog musher, and he's bringing a Alaskan Husky here as a guest. So we're going to have a dog right here in the living room on the show, and we're going to show videos of his dogs and videos about dog mushing, and it's going to be everything about dog mushing. And like literally, you guys,
Oh yeah.
you will want to invite people. You will want your kids, your grandkids, your friends, your neighbors,
fun.
your
Fun one.
yeah, seriously,
Gravy.
everybody.
And he's brilliant. Yeah. Yeah. He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a real
He
Alaskan
knows everything about the dogs.
man. He knows everything
Sled
about
dogs.
outdoors. Let's do it. All right. How long can you go without electronics? I know this is more like a young people question. And so they usually pick never. How long can you go without electronics? Because, this is what happens. We get work teams that come out on the Yukon River to help us every summer. And one of the first things that young people ask is, do you have Wi-Fi? We're like hundreds of miles away from the closest town. Do you have Wi-Fi? Do you have, where do I plug in my phone? Where do I connect to internet? I'm like, you can plug into that tree over there. Really? Yeah, you can plug something into it and see how that works out for you. All right, so never is 25%. 1 week. Okay, there's some honesty there.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I don't need electronics. Okay, all righty.
Probably last 3 months, maybe.
All right. Am I giving away a dog next week? That would be
That'd
awesome.
be awesome.
You'd have to come to Alaska to get it. No, I don't know what I think I'm actually going to give away these next week. I'm going to give away some of these because I'm enjoying these Vermont. It's Vermont smoked. I can't even read it, and I have my glasses on.
Yeah.
This is a turkey stick. We got to try the turkey next.
Ooh, turkey.
Yeah, I think we're going to give away some of these next week. Does that sound cool? You got my knife?
Get your knife right here.
Yeah.
Your sausage.
All right. Anybody else want to do the poll? We got 12 people, and 41% said never. Are you serious? You're like a bunch of teenagers. Come on. Never. Because then I couldn't watch Gravy.Live or Periscope or Instagram.
Or MySpace.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
yours or your face.
Your face.
MySpace, your
My
face.
Your face. All of our space.
Go to a place. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, guys, that's good enough. It looks like the never won. I was a little surprised to see that actually. Are you surprised?
Me too.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. All right. Enough of them what's that word? Shenanigans. Yeah, there we go.
Tomfoolery.
All right,
There's
here we
another
go.
one. I
Try
forgot.
this out. All
The
right.
other one is.
So these are actually, Cody, these are honey mustard.
Thank you. Okay.
Honey mustard. What do you think? All right. So we're going to give away some of these Vermont. I'm going to know more about them next week as far as like, are they good? Da, 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 da. And guys, stick around. Don't leave just yet unless you have to. We're going to do another spin the wheel, and we're going to give away one of these. But before we do, I got to talk about it. And before we do that, we got to show off some more horns. So last August, my son and I, Cody here, my hunting partner, we went on a hunt. We'd never gone to this area. Now we've gone caribou hunting lots of times.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't, you know? And, but we went to an area we'd never been. And long story short, we found ourselves into a nice herd of bulls.
Well, yeah.
And
Super good hunting this
he made a really
or last
clean
year.
shot. And we won't talk about my shot. I shot an animal and we never found it. It was really rough. We searched for a long time, but his caribou went down just on the other side of the river, actually fell into the river. It was rather shallow, and we processed it, and it was just amazing meat. And the antlers have been sitting out in the snow, and he brought them in to show you guys. You guys want to see them? You want to see the antlers?
Yeah.
All right, so let's go set it up. I'll move this out of your way. All right, so he's going to bring you the antlers right now. All right. You going to be okay? Yeah, just like that. Just like that. You got it. All right. You may have to stand back a ways. Like,
the biggest caribou rack I ever got.
is that awesome?
Caribou I got was like really small. This is my second caribou.
Is that awesome? Yeah. What do you think? Is that cool? So, can you come in a little closer and maybe show the tip right to the camera? Take one of the tips, one of the points, right up to the camera.
Stab the computers.
Yeah, try not to.
That good?
Look at the size of that thing, man. Now, what you got to do is wear it on your head without messing your hair up. Can you kind of show them like an idea? Show them an idea of like what it's like. Can you just? You'll have to bend over, and I'll have to get out of the way. Like, all right. So this is what this animal looks like when he's coming. Okay, yeah, just kind of bend over and come into the camera. Come on over this way. Is it brain juice?
Yeah, there's still a little tiny bit of meat on it.
Look at that.
Mostly gone.
Look at that beastly thing. Isn't that awesome? And the idea is to clean it up, get it mounted, and hang it on a wall. But we're running out of wall space because we got critters, we got hat racks all over the place. Right. Is that the coolest thing though? Are you guys enjoying that? Yeah, it is huge. And what's crazy is it wasn't the biggest caribou that we saw, right? We saw antlers that were much larger than that, but that's still the largest one in our family. So he now has the record in our family of the largest caribou harvested. And we've been enjoying that meat. So it really helps you get through the winter. And that's part of outdoorsman life. So there's people who come and hunt. They just want to make the kill and take the photograph and maybe send horns home. And then there's people like us that the meat is number one priority. And then the horns are like icing on the cake, if that makes sense. The horns are kind of nice later, you know. All right. Yeah. Thanks for doing that. And we've got some cleanup to do before Mom gets home.
We do.
Yeah.
It wasn't that much.
Hopefully
she's not
not
watching.
watching. So guys, I got to show you how this works. Now, I've never opened this one up. This is a brand new one. It's a slightly different color. This is the smallest of these, the Bear Bowl. And this company, which is called Bear Minimum, this is their logo. You can actually look up their website, but you don't have to because it's going to appear on the screen. Is that the coolest little sticker?
It's like shiny.
It's like,
crazy. It's
that's
like
like
glowing.
totally,
Pretty cool. I like
that's
stickers.
cool. So I'm going to show you guys how this works. You unsnap it, and it's like the size of a wallet. All right. And then you open it up. You can see it's like this pretty amazing, like plastic material with aluminum on the bottom for taking the heat. Okay. And so that was it put away. And then let me see. I'm gonna figure this out. Clarence, remember how I had to do this last time?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see.
I forgot.
I forgot too. I'm gonna do this. I got it. I can do this.
You got it.
I think I can do it. Okay, this one goes here. Hang on, guys. There we
Is your
go. There we
screen-
go.
Keely's screen is frozen.
Key.
Do a refresh.
Tell her to
Keely, do a
refresh. Refresh.
Fresh.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to really practice this, Cody, so I can get fast at it
That should
for the
work.
viewers. But I haven't done this in a few weeks. So
If it
bam.
doesn't, let us know.
So it was collapsed and flat, and then you snap it, and it's really strong. And this will hold 32 ounces of water. You could boil the water in there.
yes.
Pouring, I found, because we actually put water in them and measured it to see how much. And pouring can be a little tricky sometimes. But what's nice about it is, I don't know what happened. So what's nice about it is because it's not perfectly hard, you can actually manipulate kind of how you kind of like do that. And that's how I suggest pouring. If you do it off the corner, it has a tendency to want to travel through the cracks. So you just kind of bend it, pour it in. So you could cook noodles, you could cook your mountain type instant foods in here, or you could just boil water for your tea or coffee, whatever. But when you're done with it, you unsnap it. And that's the coolest thing about it is,
Super cool.
is the, just wipe it down, clean it. And then here's the part. Let's see if I can get this right.
Some clean water.
Out in
the wild. Pretty awesome.
And then
Excellent. It worked.
I just cleaned it. And now we're back at it. There, I'll let you play with it. Is that the cool? You see if you can tear it apart. It's like a Rubik's Cube.
This is.
All right, let's do it. Let's win one of these here critters.
See if I can do
We're gonna do it. We're gonna right here. This one's the bear minimum. This is called the bear bowl. It's their smallest of the bowl. They actually make a mama bear size and a papa bear size. It's like I own the company, but I don't.
They don't.
Yeah.
Or do you?
They stole my name.
No.
Oh, dude. Oh, Debbie, you almost. Mama Kaylee. Oh, no way.
Congrats.
You know what? You know what? This is like your day. And Mama Kay, did you become a member today? Can you scroll down so I can see a little bit? Did you become a member? Oh, no. I thought you did. No. It's not at the bottom, though. Here we go. Mama Kay's coming in. Not on there. I already had 4. Oh, see up here. Are you coming in? Boom, buck, do.
Well, she did.
Are you coming in?
Thank you.
You did. You became a member today? You joined? You hit the join button? We're trying to bring you in if you want to come in. I'm bumping the camera here. Sorry. Got a little excited. All right. Well, tell you what. Here's the cool thing about this is, so Karen, here's what happens. This company, it's really cool the way Gravy, can you hand it back to me? Oh, the way they've literally set this up is that I don't have to get your address and mail this to you.
Yeah.
This is my promotional one that they gave me. So you actually get a brand new one and they're going to ship it to you. So all they need is your email and then they're going to ask for your address. And so I'll make sure we get that. I think I already have your email because we've been doing this a while. So, but all we got to do is get if you could do this, go ahead and email me your mailing address. You may have done that already and I may already have it. I don't know, but go ahead and just to be safe, mail it to me, your address. And you have been winning. This is is this your second time winning? I'm looking for you to respond. Yeah, isn't that cool? Is this your second time? It might be your third time, but you've been tearing it up on the winning. Guys, keep doing it. It's gonna be awesome. The spinning wheel, you never know where it's gonna land. It's gonna be cool. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, nice. Right this time. Awesome. You got third time around. That's awesome. Okay, guys, this is so cool. Now, do we want to do any of the last polls before we close this up? Because I'm ready to kind of wrap things up. Oh yeah, I didn't even do that. Ooh. Let's show which one do we want? Let's show the camp one real quick. So guys, you've heard us talk about this camp that we run on the Yukon River. Now these videos, I'm going to show a video right now. You can actually watch a very easy, clean version of it on my YouTube channel, which is PapaBearAlaska on YouTube. But we're going to go ahead and play it for you right now. And it's called Camp Perimeter Check because
I haven't seen this one.
Every once in a while, it's pretty old. That's back when we had the 2-stroke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty old. And
in the day.
But you have to do every once in a while, you do a perimeter check and see if the bears have been kind of encroaching in on your property, because what they do is they start getting closer to where they can hide behind buildings and get in around the trees. And so you just do a drive through, look through, you look for tracks, you look for droppings, and you make sure it's safe before you crash for the night. And that's all we're doing. I'm kind of talking over the video, but that's what you do in a show, because it's a show and you talk.
It's not a movie.
Over narrating.
Indeed.
So it's like narrating. So every time you see a black thing in the woods, you're going to think it's a bear. So we're moving along pretty quickly here through camp. You can see the beautiful trees. These are black spruce. and a little bit of muddy trail. And I think we're heading out to the lake because the bears,
must be going.
they like to go out to the lake. Look how the shrubbery.
The shrubbery.
Whoa, did you see that? That was bear poop. I
Shrubbery.
just saw bear poop on the trail, guys.
Bear
I
poop?
just saw a big pile of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, straight up. I'm surprised I
Some
didn't
good
stop
eyes.
the four-wheeler.
You got some good eyes.
Yeah. I think in this one, I wasn't using the iPhone. I actually had the GoPro attached to my head back when I thought GoPros were okay. And now I think they're stupid. But anyway, that's what that was. So if you're a GoPro fanatic, don't be mad at me. I just would rather use my iPhone.
They got better.
Yeah, they got better. Their battery life is still really lame. All right, so this is our dock on our lake. We own the property right up against the lake, and it's a lake that's about a mile long. And float planes come in and bring us supplies on this lake. And it's a floating dock. The first part is remember my iPhone 5? So this is a little old. That's my 5.
It's such a tiny
I took a picture. What's crazy is the picture I just took is on my Instagram.
Is it really?
Yeah, you'd have to look for a while to find it, but it's there. All right, so we're doing the quick perimeter check
That's
around
the
the
lake
property.
gathering area right there.
Little gathering area where we meet with the kids and have a fire. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. You can barely see it.
Microphone.
Yeah. Is it the mic? Is that what he said? Microphone?
Microphone, yeah. That's funny. I know, right?
Very
Because
beautiful.
the new iPhones are like so big compared to the old ones.
Yeah,
crazy.
isn't that crazy? Yeah, you can usually tell by the phone what year it was,
Back in the
Although I
day.
keep my stuff a long time. They already had like the 6. Everybody had 6s, and I think the 7 was already coming out, and I still had my 5 plus or whatever it was.
This is like 2014, right? 15?
Yeah, something like
16?
that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was one of them. There's
Definitely, that'd be awesome. We would love to have you at Camp Nashi.
guys, you got to come out, volunteer, come out and do some work.
It's a lot of fun.
Help us build some buildings. It's really an amazing camp, suicide prevention camp that we provide every summer. We're getting ready for our 10th year at this camp, so it's actually grown a lot even since this video was made.
Oh yeah, it's grown a lot. Definitely.
Yeah.
Put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, that's
Fun.
cool.
It's worth it. Oh yeah. Good time.
On this big structure on the left is called the gathering area. That's where we meet with the kids. And where you just saw the wall mural, that's our camp office. HQ. There's our horseshoe pits for those of you that like horseshoes. Let me know if you like horseshoes. It was really cool. We started doing horseshoes at camp, and these native kids had never played horseshoes, like never. And so we got to teach them that, and they really love it.
Oh yeah. That's the chopper pad.
That's our helicopter pad, our emergency pad. We've
Emergencies.
only had a few helicopters land in there.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to expand it and put in an airstrip.
Oh yeah.
So we're actually going to put an airport into that location
Horseshoes
of the
are fun.
property. It's going to be fantastic.
It is.
It's going to be fantastic.
It is going to be.
Fantastic, I tell
Fantastic.
you. Yes.
I like horseshoes, but
Yeah.
I'm like terrible at it. I'm like really bad at it.
I think you'll see better video
It's
quality on YouTube because I think we're lagging a little bit on this
Something
platform.
with the frames
And,
with videos.
So, but the excuse is it's because we're in beta. We're
It's all
supposed to say that
Bigfoot.
to everything. It's all beta. Yeah, it's all because it's beta. Oh, that silly beta, right? Yeah, but when they're no longer beta, then there's no more excuses, right? Like
No more excuses.
Okay, this is awesome.
Cool.
We got about 10 seconds left of this video.
Did you make music, Clay? Did you make those music?
Video
You
by
did?
Papa Bear.
That's awesome, dude.
Right there. Music produced by Maskill, who's sitting right behind
Dude, that's
me.
awesome.
That was Jared. That was awesome.
Jared is awesome. I
Awesome.
miss Jared.
Hope you guys enjoyed that. A little bit of outdoorsman. Show you what our summer looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And wow. So we did the giveaways. We could do more polls, but we don't need to. I think we need to wrap things up. We got to clean it up
Wrap it
before
up.
Mom gets home.
We do.
We got to clean up this
Before we get in
house
trouble.
before Mama Bear gets home. And she's not watching this. She's probably on an airplane right now. Yeah, she's getting on an airplane. So she's probably not. So don't go telling her. She might even be periscoping or something. I don't know. And we might periscope later just to say hi to everybody.
Yeah.
And so be sure and follow on Periscope so we can find out exactly if you enjoyed this platform or not. So real quick, I got to do this plug.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Oh yeah, thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. Yo, Mike, you are awesome. I appreciate
Yes.
the donations. If you
Thank
click the green support button at the bottom, and as Mike just did that out of the kindness of his heart, I'm going to tell you what those buttons are. The ask question is $2 it costs to put a question up, because sometimes the feed gets busy on the side and we don't always see them.
Mhm.
But if you hit that, your question gets addressed because it pops right up there where you see Yo Mike put the contribution. And so the green button, if you want to give $1 or $5 or $10, or we'll take $1 million.
Take $1 million.
Yeah, we would,
Yeah,
but
there's your-
there's better ways to receive it than on here. I don't know. I'll tell you what, if we got $1 million gift, Gravy
What
would
would you
put
do?
me at the top of their good list.
Really?
Yeah, they would like me, I'm sure. Right, Lexi?
Probably.
I'm thinking. And so anyway, the buttons at the very top, though, there's a red button and a blue button. The blue button, many of you already hit it. You click the blue button and it just gives you a notification. You put in your email. You hit the join button, which is red.
Join.
You also get a notification, but then you become a member at $5 a month, which is really
That's
amazing.
macaroons.
What does membership do? What's it do? Do you want me to tell you?
Yes,
I'm going to
please,
tell you.
please.
Thanks for
Please
asking,
tell me.
Cody.
You're welcome.
So you're going to
Ask
get
a lot of questions.
you're going to get membership only shows. We're not going to use the word private because it's totally
Yeah.
been disrupted and abused
Yeah.
on Periscope and other platforms. Private. It used to be a military term. Yes, private, but
Private.
now private's bad. Okay.
Private.
So it's a membership only, like a VIP club. All right. It's a membership only membership.
Be fine.
And I'm going to do member only shows. So you'll see that I'm going live. You'll get a notification, and then you don't get to watch it unless you're a member.
Awesome.
How do you know if somebody's a
Thank
member? Look to the right side of their name and you'll see the little tag. See the bear paw? That means those people are members. Do you see the little number next to their name? That means how many times they've watched the show. Okay. So that means how many times they've been here. They've been here, like Lexi has been here all 7 times. Great show. Papa Bear,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you, Lexi.
And
That's awesome.
that's cool. He just called you Baby Bear? Oh,
What? Who did?
I think so.
Who?
Lexi, I think you
Oh.
just got called Baby
Right.
Bear. Yeah, it's awesome. So Cody, man, is doing great. So guys, click the red button. $5 a month, you become a member. Love to have you. And we're
Awesome.
getting ready. So Lexi, you'll have to tell me if there's any advice on how to do a member show, because I'm getting ready to do a member show. We're getting ready to do a membership show only because we've got some really cool stuff we want to show our members that I'm not going to show everybody else. That's
Mhm.
just the way it is.
That's how it goes.
It is. That's how it goes. All right. You guys are awesome. I want to say
Yes.
thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for to Gravy.Live for making this platform possible. Spread the word. Go to my Twitter. Pass it around. Get people interested in Gravy.Live.
Yes, yeah.
And people have been asking me, are you going to quit periscoping? No, I'm probably going to do just build that up. And we're getting ready to do some even more awesome broadcasts. But this is a platform that is unique. And I'm really going to commit to it and see if we can't build a following here, because it's a unique, really group of people. And just the way that it's designed, I think it attracts people who are really serious about not just following somebody, but serious about the subject matter, about the content, and about the interaction.
Yeah.
So you guys are awesome. Thanks for coming to Gravy.Live. We'll see you next Thursday, unless we do one before that.
Yeah.
But definitely on Thursdays. And God bless you guys. Thanks for
You guys
coming
are
out.
Awesome. Thank
We're
you
going to
so
wrap
much.
this thing up now.
Appreciate y'all.
All right. We're getting ready to close the show. Thanks again for everything.